Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to your Indigo path. Thank you so much for joining us today. So, we are going to talk about 5 ways to know you're a space holder. But what is a space holder? We got to talk about that first. So, welcome, all my replayers. Thank you so much. What I'm going to do is go over the material first, and then I'll have a discussion, but I will let you guys know when that happens so that you can stop the video or stop watching. Okay? Or you can continue to watch because we have some really good information. People ask really good questions. But that's kind of up to you. So, 5 ways to know you're a space holder. So, what is a space holder? Now, do you resonate with this? Maybe this image? So, a space holder's age range is late 20s to late 30s, and they came in a wave during this time period. But you can be older or a younger space holder. Now, the reason this is a term I have coined, what I was finding in my practice over the many years that I've been doing this was there was a whole segment of population or group of people that wasn't being talked about or written about. So we have indigos, crystals, and rainbows, but nobody was talking about this particular group between indigos and crystals. And I was finding them in my practice. So I began to do research, taking data on this particular group, and they had these same characteristics going on. And again, I have synesthesia, so I would see them with this green aura, but they can change their color adding to the green depending on their environment. Okay, so their aura is mostly green, but adds color depending on their environment and the people they encounter, but always keeping their green aura. They are beautiful and unassuming. I call them space holders because their purpose is to clear, heal, balance, transmute, and energize the space around them. So, this is the aura. Hi, everyone. This is the aura of a space holder. Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Casey. Hi, Joey. Hi, Veronica. Hi, Paulette. Hi, Michelle. Welcome, welcome. So, this is the aura of a space holder. As you can see, they're much different than the others. And as we go along and I introduce you guys to the rainbows and the crystals, I'll let you guys see that how they look different. And you can see that the reason that they have the green around them is because they were born with their heart chakra fully functioning. So they come from a space of love. They know unconditional love. Now, the reason they're mostly green, when I see a heart chakra open, it should be green and pink in balance. But space holders, as they grow older, become more and more green because that's what they're here to do. So they need to remember how to let it go and let it flow. Accept universal energy, accept God energy, accept more energy than just the space around them. So for that reason, I didn't call them the balanced ones. I called them space holders. So it's been the best time lately. Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are learning something from this. So this is a space holder aura. So with space holders, I usually see green with a hint of pink. Space holders come in with their heart chakra fully functioning. What happens is, as they grow older, they become accustomed to always transmuting, energizing, and balancing the space they are in. And in doing so, they forget about releasing energy and letting it flow. So instead of receiving universal energy or source energy, they only work with the energy around them. They heal, balance, and charge the space, and they forget to receive and release the space and let it flow. This is why I call them space holders. So I'll explain this radio example that I have to help you understand. You will know them because when they walk in a room, you'll automatically feel like you can breathe, like you can take a breath. You'll feel everything is going to be okay. Now, you won't feel blissful or elation. That's a different group. They just have this calm and peacefulness that you'll feel. and you'll feel that because they're transmuting your energy. They're healing you. This is what they do naturally. So let me give you an example of their purpose. Humanity, this world, the universe has a vibration, and everything is changing variations or variances of the vibration. So we know this from physics. As in the universe is always so as the universe is always expanding, then we need energy that can fine tune the vibration, right? To give clarity in the vibrations. So let me explain it this one way. It's like, it's not it, but it's kind of like this, a radio station. If the clear station is 93.3, you know, the one you can hear the beautiful music that you love to hear, and you move it to 93.2, you can still hear the music. It's static with some music coming through. It may not sound as beautiful as the 93.3, but it sounds okay. The station may not be clear, but you can hear it. So we need that button to keep it at 93.3 to hold it so it can be clear, correct? Well, think of a space holder as the button that keeps it clear. Again, this is just one analogy. So they are much more than just a button. So in this life, already doing their destiny, it's not their only destiny, but it's their primary destiny. So they will feel like they are not doing their purpose. This is the issues I was having with space holders. We humans don't just have one destiny or purpose. We have many destinies and many purposes. So they get to choose how they want to help the Indigos physically. And physically is the key word, right? So energetically and spiritually, they're really aware, and they know things and they do things and they have a lot of abilities. But they're wondering what they're supposed to do here, and they're already doing their primary purpose. So here's the difference between an indigo and a space holder. Here's the difference between an indigo and a space holder. So you see the indigo has that indigo aura and blue and indigo around them. This indigo person, you can tell, has an issue with communication. So you can tell that because their indigo is it's not so radiant as the blue chakra, right? So they need to like reel in that blue chakra. So, but next to them is the space holder. So here are 5 ways to know you're a space holder. And again, I described them in detail with a lot of other characteristics in my book that's coming out soon. But here are 5 ways to know you're a space holder. Are you extremely empathic? So much so it can overwhelm you. You are more empathic and intuitive than psychic. If so, then you may be a space holder. So most space holders will want to be psychic. Like they think they're not doing it right because they want to see things and they want to like know things. They know things, but they know it in a different way. They're trying to do it psychically when they're more empathic. That's their talent. Their talent is empathy. Their talent, yeah, not so indigo-ish. No. So their talent is empathy. They have this, and they are intuitive in that way. So what they don't realize also is they may have a form of synesthesia. So their empathy they can translate into things, right? But I'm not saying that they can't be psychic. I'm saying they're more intuitive and empathic than psychic. Where an indigo, here I am, sweetie, love you, sweetie. Hi, Manuela. So where an indigo is more psychic, a space holder is more empathic and intuitive, right? So the next one, do you have a job or career, where you work both from home and office? If this is an ideal way to work for you, then you might be a space holder. So what happens is space holders will have these jobs or careers where they'll go in 2 or 3 days a week into the office, and then home, they can work from their home. That's the ideal way to work for them because they're often transmuting and balancing and charging the space. And so they've come here to be engaged in humanity, not to be apart from humanity. So they will want that balance in, okay, I go to work and I have, the engagement of the community and the engagement of healing the space, and then I come home and I do the same. And these space holders are very quiet and unassuming. They're just this, they almost look so balanced on the outside, but they have a lot of anxiety inside. So if this is you, then you might be a space holder. Now, number 3 is, do you have an affinity to rocks, crystals, animals, and nature? For you, this might be more than an affinity. You can actually intuitively communicate with these. You might even say, I can feel them. I know what they want. If so, then you might be a space holder. So space holders have this affinity with animals and rocks and crystals, mountains, trees especially. They love trees, they love crystals, they love animals, and they communicate with them. They can sort of empathically, maybe not words being said, but empathically know what that tree is saying or feeling, or know what that crystal is saying or feeling, or know what that mountain is saying or feeling. So number 4, and this is not a true characteristic, but this is what I was finding a lot of in my practice. Do you have a fascination with tails? Maybe when you were a child, you even wanted a tail. Even so, even if you didn't want a tail, you have this thing with tails where they make you feel comfortable and you smile, right? If so, then you might be a space holder. So what I found through my hypnotherapy is that a lot of space holders that have this fascination with tails, it's because of the dimension they were in before. It was because of a life that they lived before they had tails. So this isn't a true characteristic because, I have seen a few space holders that didn't have the fascination with tails, but a lot of them came from the same place in the last life. So number 5, in your spiritual growth, are you able to use abilities like PK, so psychokinesis, or any kinesis, but you use it through your heart chakra more than your third eye chakra? So if you try to use it through your third eye chakra, if so, then you might be a space holder. But if you try to use it through your third eye chakra, it doesn't work as normally for you as if you move the space from your heart instead of from your third eye chakra. Now, those of you that aren't on your spiritual path or haven't used these abilities, you may not be aware that you're using it more through your heart than your third eye, but you'll become aware of that. So these are 5 ways to know that you're a space holder. Again, here's a picture of and you can tell a lot of these space holders want to wear a tail, even if it's for fun. So at this point, if you liked what you saw, if you like what you see, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Your Indigo Path. I want to thank everybody for joining me. At this point, my replayers, you may want to turn off the video because we're going to go into discussion now, but you're welcome to stay for the discussion. So you mean like a wagging tail? Can you be both? So yes. So especially, this is a really interesting question, Maria, because what I said yesterday with the indigos is indigos will sort of expand to be more like a crystal. So the other thing I forgot to say too, this is like a main characteristic. You will often see a space holder with an indigo, because indigos are the only ones that will indigos will only let space holders be around them for a very long time. Like, they don't like to be around a lot of people. Indigos, they'll be around people, but they won't really personally have them with them for long periods of time unless they're a space holder. So oftentimes you'll see best friends, soulmates, your life partners will be a space holder, right? Oh, thank you. She said, I love your voice, and laughed. Thank you, Manuela. So what I'd said yesterday was indigos they're gonna graduate or expand to be more like a space holder, and then eventually a crystal. Um, and space holders will be more like an indigo and crystal, because space holders, that's what I was finding when they were coming to me, was they were saying, well, I've seen what an indigo is and I'm not really that, and I've seen what a crystal is, I'm not really that, but I don't know what I am, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I just know how I feel, right? So as long as they don't gab my ear off. Exactly. So space holders won't. That's the thing about space holders. Space holders, they will keep their integrity and their truth when they're with an indigo, but that's a space holder. A space holder will adapt to whatever it is that the person is around them, or the group, or the space, and then they'll start to transmute it. They'll start to begin to help you learn a new way, or begin to just naturally heal, right? My ex is indigo. He's still around me. Yeah, they do. So indigos will stay around space holders, and space holders, you'll see them in partnerships a lot. So yeah, you're a space holder for sure. Identify with this and some indigo traits. I was wondering the same thing, Maria. Yeah, so the thing is space holders, and again, I explain this. I'm going to write a space holder book, but in this first book, I'll give you a little bit more detail about space holders, because space holders is again, a coin I termed. Sorry, a term I coined. Uh, and so I haven't found any information on them. I wasn't finding any information, any research being done about them. So I decided to start taking the data in, and I was finding that they were coming to me. So um, they will be a little bit like indigo and a little bit like crystal, but still feel like there's something missing, and that's a space holder. So if you guys could be sure to give it a thumbs up, and share this out to Twitter and Facebook and Pinterest and Google Plus, that would help a lot. I don't think I have some of both at this point. Not too strong at either. Good. So we still have the crystals and rainbows palette coming up, and a lot of you are probably going to be crystals as well. So rainbows are still really, mm, they're still in their early teens. Some of them are in their later teens. I don't know if I'm indigo or space holder when I meditate with a candle or see a lot of indigo color around, but I love tails also. So that's why I said, well, this is why I said that indigos, I mean, that this isn't a true characteristic. That's why I said about the tails, it's not a true characteristic, because the tail could mean that that's where you were. Remember, space holders will go where indigos are at. So again, I explain this in my book. Indigos come and they trailblaze, and they open up the vibration, and then the space holders come in. So if space holders were in a place where they had tails, well, it would make sense that the indigos were there first, right? So all I do is be friendly and can know some things of people when men are interested in me, and I love everyone. Yeah, that's like a space holder. That's a space holder. Space holders are very like, the thing is space holders on the outside, you'll see them as very calm and sweet and smiling all the time and just have this calmness about them. But really on the inside, they're a nervous wreck and they have a lot of anxiety. So I keep seeing the same flowers almost everywhere I go, and they're indigo color. That's awesome. That's awesome. So again, this is just the first time I'm bringing out the space holders onto YouTube. Um, and in my book, I go into a little bit more detail about the space holders. I am writing a space holder book where I give some of my cases. So I know that there's going to be a lot of questions about that. These are just 5 ways to know that you're a space holder, but space holders have a lot of characteristics, and you'll be able to define them yourself in either an indigo, a space holder, a crystal, or a rainbow, right? So you don't want a tail though. Yeah, again, that's why I said it wasn't a true characteristic. So it just kind of depends on where your last couple of lives were. So, because I think that's the other thing too. If you kind of have a feeling that you haven't been here very many times, that's an indication of a space holder. because this earth, um, after all of the big wave of the indigos, it wasn't until then that this earth was at a vibration that it could hold a space holder, and then it could hold a rainbow and a crystal, right? So indigos are the ones that come in, even though the vibration or the vibration is a little bit tight, and they'll sort of open it, and then the space holders can come in. Space holders, they will stand up for what they believe in, but they sort of do it in a softer, gentler way, not so aggressive and in your face like an indigo. So I'm a space holder, and when people act smart, I say, God, I'll bring down. Yeah, I'll say, God, I'll bring down for you. Amen. Yes. Yeah, see, that's like more of a space holder. So Manuela said, so when people act smart, I say, God, I'll bring down for you. Amen. Yeah. So that's like a space holder comment where an indigo would totally crush them. That's like, that's the difference. That's totally the difference. Yeah. Can space holders be an old soul though? Um, yeah. Yeah. Well, so let me just say they're all older souls, but they're not the ancient like eon souls. That's not what they are. So can space holders? Yeah. So you can feel like you're an old soul and be a space holder, but again, you haven't seen what a crystal is and a rainbow, and you may resonate more with that. I've found that space holders are not really ancient eon souls. They're just maybe an older soul, right? Not like not like an indigo actually. So um there, but this whole group, all four of them are old souls. So you can say it that way. So does anybody have any other questions? Hi. All right. Well, if nobody has any other questions, then I'm gonna let you guys go. Um, you're an old soul. Good. So remember that we have Indigo Tarot with Melissa and I tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 9 p.m. Mountain, 10 p.m. Central, and 11 p.m. Eastern. So I have both qualities. Will be interesting to see if I have four. Yeah. So as an older person, Maria, you're probably balancing into probably not the rainbows yet, but maybe a crystal as well. I want to thank you for your beautiful time and spending us with us. Blessings. Thank you. Yes. Is it weird that sometimes when I meet new people, I can tell if they're an old soul or young? No, that's not weird. That just means you're aware. Yes, I am. Thanks, Cindy. This was great. Maybe a bit of each, who knows. Yeah. So can you talk about cleansing ourselves? So yeah, I'll do another. That's one of the topics that I'm going to take, that I'm going to do, is about cleansing. So remove that energy we pick up on. Yeah. So I'm going to give you like 5 ways to balance, charge, and cleanse your chakras. You're welcome. So see you guys tonight. Sparkle Teeny and I will be on Indigo Tarot tonight. So yeah, yeah. Um, and then tomorrow night we'll also be there tomorrow night. But I'm gonna come here every day for the next 2 weeks um, to do one of these. So be sure to go see my. If you haven't seen it, be sure to go see my video on. You're welcome. And those things with indigo crystal and other stuff. Yeah, so you can watch the replay also. You're welcome. So be sure to watch that other video on my Your Indigo Path 2 channel to see the spirit guide. That was a really cool thing that she sent me. So I'm mentally younger than most, just saying. All right, guys. I love you, love you, love you. Thank you again for watching. I will see you guys tonight. Bye.